is Lois DeWitt, and we're going to be doing a shading exercise today that I think you'd find a lot of fun. What you need is a drawing pencil, a good quality drawing pencil, and a good quality sketch pad. I think this is just a smaller pad. It doesn't matter what size it is. The main thing is to do the exercise. What I've done here is I've ruled out 2 columns, 3 inches wide and 8 inches across. And I've made a line in the middle just indicating the center. When you do this exercise, you don't have to make the lines as heavy as I did, but I wanted to make sure that you would see them. And now I'm just going to pan over here. So let's begin. This is an excellent exercise to learn cross-hatching as a method of shading and to teach you how light and shade create space and volume. And it's through a very simple exercise you can learn a lot. I'm going to start on the top area here with my drawing pencil, and I'm going to start cross-hatching. Cross-hatching is a development of shading just using short lines and slowly building them up. And you can see that they actually, as you develop your cross-hatching, you're actually sort of interweaving the lines, very much like a basket might be made. What I'm going to be doing in this top area is shading the center and leaving the sides white. Slowly build up the lines. This will take a little while. Calculating about how far I want to bring these lines out before they completely disappear and become white. As I approach this area here, I'm just barely touching the paper with the pencil. I want to work for as even a gradation as I can. And it should be fairly even. That is that as you develop your lines this way, try to repeat it as evenly as you can on the other side. So we carry them out to there. Now this kind of cross-hatching, I'm working fairly fast. You can cross-hatch much slower and get some really precise lines if you want. I have a limited time to do this in the demo, so I'm going to try to, I'm speeding it up. But that is, I wanted to tell you because that's definitely an option with cross-hatching. Think in terms of gradations of gray to black to light gray to white. And again, just very, very lightly here on the edges. Let me change that a little bit. Now Now I'm going to go back in here, develop this a little further. Do get a good drawing pencil. What you're going to see here is if you use a regular pencil, even though it might be a soft lead, you probably will not get the tonality that you need for this exercise. You really need a good drawing pencil that will get quite black when you need it and work through all the gradations easily. Now you can see how this is beginning to build up, and I'm just randomly putting these lines in, keeping in mind the gradations that I need for this. Again, I'm going back into the center now and building it up a little bit more. Everybody has their own pattern of working. In my case, what I like to do when I'm doing a gradation like this is to work the dark areas against the light areas. So I will develop the cross hatching slowly, and then I'll go back into the dark areas and build those up a little bit more, and then I will gradate it out to the light areas. That's just the way I work, and I think it's a pretty good way of working. If you want to spend some time with this exercise, you can really develop this dark area to almost black. It's very dramatic, and the effect will be the best. I really don't have time to do it, and I will develop this enough so that you can see how this works. I'm not too worried about going out of the lines because of these, because this is an exercise, and the main thing is to achieve that great gradation, that tonal gradation that you need. Okay, so I'm approaching pretty much, I'm getting pretty close to the development that I want on this now. Although, like I say, it could certainly be much more refined, and if you want to take some time with this exercise and really, really refine it, it's rewarding to do it and fun. I think it's a fun exercise. Will give you skills as far as shading and picturing how the volumes are created by just doing this exercise, so that when you get into doing subject matter, or even if you want to do abstract work, you will know, you'll have a really good idea of how light and shadow work through cross-hatching. That's pretty good, I think. I'm going to leave off of this for a while now, and I'm going to go into the second area, and I'm going to, now the plan here is to shade these areas. I'm going to actually do the reverse, and take this line out here. will be more effective to remove that. So I'm starting over here with the cross hatching. And just building up this area here. And you want to keep in mind the same sort of gradation, that it's going to be quite black over here and then go gradually to gray. And this doesn't happen right away. You really have to build up your line slowly. If you work too quickly, you're going to end up with stripes. And that's not a very good gradation. That exercise really won't work very well then. See a little line in there, I think I got carried away. So be very, very careful. Okay, there's that area is coming along, and I'm going to take another pencil rather than take the time to sharpen that one. Same pencil, just a newer one. This exercise actually has extensions that are fairly interesting. You can rule out your own shapes and your own configurations and shade them and see what you can come up with volumes. You actually can produce some pretty interesting compositions that way. For instance, if you take curved lines, maybe do doodles. You should probably know what a doodle is by now, right? Just doodle away and then choose certain areas to shade and certain areas to leave white. You will come up with a pretty interesting composition. It doesn't even have to represent an image, or if you want to do a drawing of a still life, put a directional light on it, on one side, or like the right-hand side of, say you have an arrangement of some oranges and a book, for instance. Put a directional light on it and then shade with cross-hatching, emphasizing the dark shadows and leaving whatever highlighted areas are quite, leave them off, leave it quite white, and it will be very dramatic, be a dramatic effect. And you'll be able to do it easily if you complete an exercise like this, because you'll know exactly what this kind of technique produces. Okay, now we're just going to come in here a little bit more and give this some volume now and some shape. Again, this isn't quite as refined a cross-hatching as you can use, because I'm doing it quite rapidly. But it'll give you an idea of what you can produce through this technique. Just tweaking these tonalities now. This is a pretty classic exercise. If you go to art school or attend an art drawing class, it's highly likely you'll get something like this to work on, because of the effectiveness of it. Now, I have to say that I made the lines strong so you could see my lines. This would be more effective without the lines. So when you do it, make your lines very faint. And I don't know if you can begin to see the effect that's happening now, but this actually should begin to look like it's coming out, and this should look like it's going back, so that this area here actually appears to go behind this area. And this is how volumes in cross-hatching are created. There, I think that pretty much accomplishes the effect that we wanted. And like I say, if your lines are faint, it will be more effective. And if you just keep on developing, it will get more effective as well. But I just didn't want to spend that much time with it, because I think we have gotten the idea across. And do try this exercise. It's really rewarding and fun to do, and you learn a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. I did.